I'm going to quickly go through the process of resizing an image for the PGPA website. The website now needs the same size of image for both the portfolios and for the image of the month, and that is 2000 pixels on the longest axis, and ideally around 1 megabyte file size. You can usually get away with a bit less than that, but let's say up to 1 megabyte. So in Photoshop, here we are, we've got a portrait image in this case, and it's been converted from a DNG file, so it's a full-size image. So the first thing you do is go to Image, Image Size, and in the longest, whichever that is, height or width, put in the 2000 pixels, like so, and make sure that the chain there is linking the two together, so that if you change the height, it will automatically change the width in the same proportions. When you've done that, you can say OK. The other defaults normally will be correct. I'll view that full fit on screen. So there it is. That has now been resized. So that is 2000 pixels, but the compression and the color space remain to be sorted. And if you're working in Photoshop, I find the easiest way is to go to File and choose Save for Web and Devices. That's slightly different now, I believe, in CS6. This is CS4, and most versions it is Save for Web and Devices. Select that, and up comes this dialog, which is giving you a rough idea of how the image is looking. This is a 100%. We can fit it in the view like that. Correct image. And then if you work from the top, you might have a preset set up. I haven't for this, although one easily could. First thing is to get the correct file type, and we're looking in this instance for a JPEG. And then decide roughly what kind of compression you're looking for. In this case, I'm going to try high. That will automatically take it to quality 60. The other options there you don't need to worry about, but you should have convert to sRGB ticked. That will make sure that the color space is correct. You've got an option here about what metadata you carry across. You can have it set to none, copyright only, copyright and contact info, all except camera info, or all. And that one's worth thinking about. And you know, if you're going to change all these parameters, it would be worth having a preset set up. Bear in mind, if you select all, you are actually exposing quite a lot of information about your camera, your lenses, to anybody who wants to read that metadata. So most people, I think, probably, if they thought about it, would go for copyright and contact info, because you want to show it's yours and you want to enable someone who might be interested in the image to get in touch, and also you want to make sure that your image is traceable. So having set that, if you carry on down, you'll see, because we resized it first, it is showing the size of the image, in this case 2000 by 1333 pixels. Now what you'll find is that if you try and use this Save for Web and Devices with a full-sized image, it won't have it, which is why I resized it first. If you've got fairly small images, most of you these days wouldn't have, you could go straight to Save for Web and Devices, but I always resize first, because my cameras all take images which this Save for Web and Devices won't cope with unless they've been resized. You can leave the quality as bicubic. Don't worry about animation. But what you will want to do is go across here onto the left hand side where the mouse pointer is, and you'll see an indication of file size, and in this instance it is 785.9 kilobytes, which is very roughly 3/4 of a megabyte, and that's just about ideal. That's fine. That will be a perfectly good image. If you do this and maybe you're working with a camera with a larger file size, then you may choose the option to, instead of going for the high quality up here, that's not high compression, that's high quality, instead of going for high you might go for medium, and you can see it changes the quality setting down to 30%, and over here that file has dropped to less than half a megabyte. I shall take it back to high, and you can see it's immediately recomputed it over here to 779 kilobytes, say about 3/4 of a megabyte. It also tells you how long it would take to download it at 56.6 kilobytes per second. I wouldn't worry about that these days. There's an option here. You could see how long it would take. Let's say on a 1 megabyte connection it would take 9 seconds, that's not too bad. Most people have got a better than a 1 megabyte broadband, and that's all there is to it really. It is pretty straightforward. You would then say save, and you've got the option of putting it wherever you fancy. In this instance I'll stick it on the desktop. Obviously you can change the file name at this stage if you want. I probably would, but in this case I won't for speed. Click save, and there it is. You might want to view actual pixels. There, actual pixels, so you can see that it's done a very good job. You know, it's been resized well. It's now sRGB, so it will look correct on all browsers, because that's the color space that all browsers are comfortable with. So we've now saved it. All you then have to do is upload it, which you all know how to do. So we'll call an end to it